Peace, peace. What's good, y'all? Today I want to talk to you about being in creator mode, man. I gotta tell y'all about this. I'm really going through the creative act. My name is Ephraim. If you don't know me, I am a musician. I am a creator, and I'm in a process of completely just reshaping my life. Like I'm just coming from the LA Fitness. I got straight out the gym, and I wanted to get to y'all, man, because we've been going through this process. I've been in Atlanta, Georgia. Staying with my sister and being around family and just figuring out what God is showing me on my day-to-day. And one thing I will say is that within the past year, I've been having this intuitive push, like this inclination, like I'm getting messages and synchronicities to go to Chicago and maybe even be it move to Chicago. And I'm finally taking that step. A lot of things that I wanted to do didn't align right away. Like, it wasn't the way that I envisioned it at first of how I wanted to control the situation. I had family out there that I talked to, and I was supposed to meet and connect with them, and like, okay, I'll stay with them, check it out. And all that was supposed to happen like 5 or 6 months ago last year, but lo and behold, it didn't. So I stayed in Atlanta with my sister out here and her kids, and it just kind of got to this point where I realized sometimes it's just better to move forward than remain where you are. Because that being said, like, I'm super grateful for like all of my experience. I'm super grateful that I even had this ability to, it's hard to talk about it, but like this ability to stay with my sister in the first place, just because we didn't grow up with each other. Like, I kind of grew up like an only child. You know, my sister is about 10 years older than me. But I've talked about my oldest sister who passed, right, a couple years ago, and she was staying out here. And so I knew it meant a lot to me coming and being with everyone, like my nieces and nephews and her, just kind of filling that gap. You feel me? That maybe presence-wise, my sister not being there. However, I will say that it can be frustrating at times, you know, when I have a certain expectation, I believe certain things are going to be done in this time, and then it's almost like I tell you my word, right? Like, I'm giving my word and we kind of have an agreement, even though it wasn't anything formal, of like, oh, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to make this step. And sometimes we don't realize, and I don't realize right away, oh, you know what? Somebody might really have a strong feeling or just emotions that they can't quite convey to me. Like, they don't know how to communicate this to me of what they need. And this is something I've been learning. I was just listening to about boundaries, actually. And it's so funny, but sometimes we just hope someone kind of understands our boundaries and what we need. And for me, that being said, I've been the type of person like, yo, just communicate, let me know, be open. I've always been that way expressively to people, even though at the same time I'm realizing, like, how can I create the space for people to be more vulnerable and open with me. So that being said, I just wanted to really communicate my gratitude to my sister, just because I'm like, wow, you know, some people don't even have siblings that they can rely on, and that's just a blessing in itself that I'm grateful for. But also just a point in my life where everything completely changed, and I wanted to express this to her in the moment, but I knew it wasn't the best idea. So I told her, like, you know, some things I probably shouldn't even explain to you about my journey, because it's not necessarily gonna help her situation right now, right? It's not gonna help her if I'm saying, well, this is what I'm going through, but she needs more from me. When the best thing I could do was, like, you know what? Let me go forward on the vision that was given to me, right? And so I say all that to say, me taking this step, like, I got all my stuff in the car. I'm going out for this creative event, and I'm just gonna connect with some, you know, like-spirited people. Ideally, that's gonna be the vibe, and I'm just gonna be open to, you know, the possibilities and literally letting it unfold, like making space for God to work however it does. And it's just funny, like, with the culture that we have, like, in America, everything that we're taught and indoctrinated with is just not It's just not the status quo. It's not the norm. It's not the conventional. However, for me, I'm realizing the person that I am, like my soul, and being extraordinary is like not doing the ordinary things. When I look at all the people that's successful, like Steve Harvey was talking about, I love that, Jane. When I hear Steve Harvey talking about how he slept in his car, and I think he said he was homeless, slept in his car for like 3 years before he always had this dream as a kid, literally as a kid, wrote down on a piece of paper for an assignment like, I'm gonna be on TV. And he just had this inner knowing, and it took one person who was his father to say, well, like, what's wrong with that? The teacher might want you to do this. Listen, like, just write down what they want you to write down, but I want you to look at this message every morning, like when you wake up, and I want you to know, right? Because it's that power that we have to create. And even Steve always talks about that as a man thinketh, this principle, and these principles, which actually they are written in the Bible, right? It's conveyed within Christianity, is conveyed within other forms of religion, within other philosophies and ideologies, but it just kind of sums up to as a person thinks. Like, whatever you think, your perception is your reality. And so for me, learning how to embody and choose gratitude has been so vital for me. And again, y'all know my book that I love from the Secret series called The Magic. When I just I'm like, yo, let me like just be super grateful for my family, my sister, because we weren't that close, but she really has been considerate of me. She made space for me even when she didn't understand. And my mom has been the same way. And this is the thing, I come from a family where, we grew up functionally within dysfunction. Like, we've been accustomed to chaos, right? So becoming a new person, reprogramming my mind, having a renewal of the mind and the subconscious, it's like I have to let go and detach from all these things and these behaviors, which my family, they might still exhibit because it's comfortable to them, right? It's all they know. And I've been going through the process and realizing that's confirmation with that motorcycle, realizing like it really is difficult. Like, sometimes we try and fault people for, you're not grinding every day, you're not being successful, you're not changing your life, your habits, but it really is a process, and it actually hurts a lot of times in the process to become a new person, to embody new things, healthier habits. Like, it's crazy because it's like becoming healthy can actually hurt at first. Like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Look at God, man. I was saying we ain't had no sunset, but the sun is literally coming out as I'm saying this. So see, look, that's a blessing in itself, man. Come on with this golden hour. You see the melanin. All right, let me stop. Focus, right? To focus in on the message. And I was just talking about that with you guys last week. Being all over the place, for me, being a divergent person, straight up just having a different type of mind. As I've come into accepting this, I just realized, like, I love who I am and I accept myself, and I just have to allow myself to exist. And if that, not to say like it hurts people in the process, but sometimes it will. But it's just because people sometimes have expectations because of what they're accustomed to, their fears, their insecurities, and they just want the best for us, right? They want us to be safe. But it's just like, no, I know the vision that God has given to me. I know what I'm being shown, and it might not work out exactly how I envision or plan it to, but it's literally working in my favor, like the best way possible. Because I just think of like certain things, like if I wasn't here and if it didn't happen the way it did, there are so many negative possibilities that potentially could have happened. But I'm just grateful that it's working, and like now it's getting closer to spring and summer around the corner, and I'm just like, okay, that helped me. Like, I'm open to receiving, right, from God, as well as whatever happens throughout the universe, throughout creation, of like what is meant for me. I am choosing to be in a place of openness and receiving. And I do realize and recognize that is more of a feminine energy. And oftentimes as men, especially black men, it can be very difficult for us to open up into receiving. But for me, getting into that God embodying place of allowance is like, this is what God represents. God represents masculine and feminine, as we all do. And that's just the principle. It's not about gender, it's not about, any other category, but it's just that what is the nature of who we are, who I am. So I'm choosing my creativity, I'm choosing my passion. I got all my stuff. I'm like out here working, doing the, deliveries, get some extra gas money, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it because I literally had a bubble on my tire, on my right tire, and it's just, I had a warranty, and they were like, oh, well, usually the warranty doesn't cover this, but for whatever reason, your prorated, your tread depth is only down a little bit. It's only gonna be like $30. But I was just like, wow, because I'm like, I went to get my car serviced for a recall issue that my mom was telling me about, an airbag, and I met this girl, and then she seen my car, and she was like, oh, that bubble, like, you don't want to do that, especially if you're going on the road. She's like, that could just burst at any moment. And then I'm just like, dang, because I'm just like, it's all gonna work out. But I'm like, oh, I'm going to Firestone the next day, and it just literally did, where I'm like, I had just enough to like, let me just replace this tire and let me keep going, because I know I'm meant to be in this place, and I'm just stepping and walking into alignment. I'm not coming from this place of scarcity. I'm coming from an abundant place of like, there is no lacking, and like every single day, it's like just like the renewal of the mind. It's kind of like, I've heard somebody like LaRussell talk about showing up empty and being filled, but also I feel like that is kind of a biblical type of principle, and these are just principles in itself of when we allow, again, that space in that room for us to be a vessel and to be used by God, to be used by the Most High in creation. This is all the creative act. And that is, actually, I love that book too. Shout out Rick Rubin. I haven't even gotten nearly through it, but that book spoke to me so much because it's just not what one might think it is at first. Like hearing about it and you think Rick Rubin, it gets so much into the esoteric and the spiritual right away. And as I'm learning all these principles about wealth, success, creativity, music, all these things are pointing back to God at the end of the day, in the presence of the metaphysical and the things that are more than just what we see. So for that reason, it's like I'm co-creating this journey, and I'm like, let me document the process, but I'm literally about to get up out of here, bro. And I'm just excited for the journey, quite frankly, because this is what it is, me being present and living my life and enjoying it. Because I just see so many people who, quite frankly, and I was one of them, are just masking their lives and going through it day to day, coping and not living. And even at times recently, I didn't start realizing I was suffering and I was falling into old habits because I didn't want to be in this place anymore, because I just knew mentally and spiritually like I should be somewhere else. But then I knew at the same time, no, I have to be patient, like I'm meant to be here right now. But everything just aligned at the perfect opportunity. Like literally, even for what I'm going for, I'm gonna have to recap it and tell y'all more about it once I get there. But I'm just knowing, I'm trusting, believing, knowing that this is all gonna work out. And even if it's not what I expect, it's gonna be what was meant and what was meant for me. And yeah, that's everything I have. So this is my creative act, man. I'm just documenting the process, the journey. But yeah, everybody wants to know when I'm gonna make it to Chicago. I'm there. So I'm about to leave like in a couple hours actually. So let me get up out of here, man. I love y'all for real. Ito Langston is on all streaming platforms. Ekanamiko.univer.se. Feel free to like, subscribe, and peace, man. I love y'all. I'll see you soon with the updates. Yeah.